This is a unique experience, and if you're here for the first time, it is an all kind of inspiring experience to see the work that our educators put into not only developing the units, but collaborating with Y&I and the professors in the various seminars that they participate in. But before we do that, just again, a special thank you to Stephanie and the team. That includes Jonathan, Michael, Dan, Alexandra, Nicholas, and Bethany. Your collective efforts strengthen the mission of Y&I, which is to elevate teacher leadership and foster collaboration between schools, districts, and universities nationwide. And you've done that for 20 years now. And so we look forward to continuing with this strong partnership and ultimately having our students be the ultimate benefactor of the hard work, collaboration, and work that's put into it. And so this year's Leader Caucus included representatives from Delaware, where I'm from, and my name is Dorrell Green. I'm the superintendent of the Red Clay Consolidated School District, located in Wilmington, Delaware. The District of Columbia, Anchorage, Alaska this year. Navajo Nation representatives from Kayenta School District. However, there is a disclaimer. My colleague, Dr. Haven, is not here representing Navajo Nation, although they are represented. We had School District of Philadelphia, San Jose, from the leaders, and Hearn, Texas, with Dr. Johnson, and many others. I know a lot of what we talked about in our Leader Caucus is the challenge of continuing and sustaining local institutes. And we're fortunate in Delaware that we do have a long-standing, sustained local institute, and we know many of our leaders across the country are still grappling with those various partnerships, and that's what you'll hear from each of them here shortly. And so the focus of our discussion again was on how can Y&I and local institutes support retained educators. And I go back to my first experience here back in 2019 when I had the fortune of meeting Mr. Robinson from Richmond Public School District, Rodney, and he was a National Teacher of the Year. And he shared his testimony in that he was literally considering leaving the profession and came back to a summer institute, and that reignited that pilot light. And as a result, educators and more students were able to benefit from that. And so in our discussion, two essential questions came up for us. And Curie from Delaware shared and just said, how do we build sustainable systems that support the increased opportunities for teacher leaders? Because you truly are teacher leaders, and how can we look at sustained systems that support and elevate teachers to develop the wonderful work that you're doing? And ultimately, how do we replicate it, knowing that replication is challenging in the sense that we all have our local context. So what works in Delaware, we know geographically may not work in Anchorage, or what works in Delaware because of political climate may not work in a place like Tulsa or some of our southern states. And so how do you take that local context and ensure that our educators and partners have the resources that are necessary to ensure that the meaningful work that Y&I, again, continues to support is not only platformed, but elevated and is sustained. And so our discussion centered around ways to replicate, again, but more importantly, respond to the need to increase our ability to reach more educators. And we know that, unfortunately, a lot of this is placed on the back of educators. You come and you have this experience, and then you have to go back to your local school districts, local communities, and you serve as the recruiting agent when you're looking for support from your superintendents, district office, school leader staff to be able to, again, platform this wonderful opportunity.